As Alex bid his final farewell to his sister, the sun dipped below the horizon, fading just as she had, as if the very light of his world was slipping away. With a heavy heart and a restless mind, he made his way to the wolf's den, seeking the dull comfort of a drink to silence the storm within him. The tavern was dimly lit, filled with the murmurs of weary souls droning in their miseries. Alex took a seat in the shadows, wanting nothing more than solitude. But peace, it seemed, was a luxury he would not be granted. A stranger, eyes sharp with mischief or malice, took notice of him. And just like that, Alex's fragile attempt at stillness was shattered.
New here, kid? There are taxes to be paid first before having a drink here, young man.
Mind your damn business.
I beg your fucking pardon?
I said, mind your business.
Motherfucker. Do you know who you're talking to? I am Vidar, son of...
I can't seem to give any damn about who you are. I'm here to have a drink and leave.
And I am telling you, there are taxes to be paid before...
Vidar snatched Alex's glass without warning, shattering it against his head with a brutal strike, sending him crashing to the ground. As Alex groaned, shaking off the impact, Vidar stepped forward, gripping the hilt of his sword, ready to drive his point home, both in words and steel. But just as he loomed over Alex, his eyes caught something that made him freeze. The red stamp burned against Alex's chest, unmistakable and damning. Vidar's expression shifted from hostility to shock as he demanded. Vidar, still gripping his sword, took a step back, his eye darting between Alex's face and the red stamp burned into his chest. His fingers tensed, knuckles white around the hilt.
The red mark. I never thought I'd see one in my lifetime.
Alex wiped the blood trickling from his forehead, still seething from the plow. I don't give a damn what you've seen. You wanna fight? Then finish it. Vidar tilted his head, studying Alex's stains, his defiance despite the pain, the weight of grief still pressing on his shoulders. He suddenly lunged, swinging his sword not to kill, but to test. Alex barely had time to react, raising his own blade just in time to parry. The impact rattled his arms, but he stood firm.
You're a stubborn bastard, I'll give you that. But the red mark doesn't make you special. It makes you a walking corpse!
Vidar smirked. Another strike. Alex dodged, rolling to the side, his heart pounding.
Good. You can hold your ground.
What the hell is this? Vidar stepped back, lowering his weapon. The tension lingered for a moment before Vidar finally sheathed his sword.
A test. I don't waste my time on weaklings. Alright, kid. Maybe you've got some fight in you after all. Listen, that red mark means you've got a debt to pay. And if it's to the marshals, then we may have more in common than I thought.
Alex's breath was heavy, his grip tightening around his sword.
I won't just hand you what you need. If you want my help, you're going to prove you deserve it.
As if As if I'm going to ask you for any. Alex spits his blood between Vidar's legs and walked toward the door, leaving. His attempt to silence the storm raging in his mind had failed miserably. Even as the night deepened, his thoughts remained restless, weighed down by grief and burden now forced upon him. Stopped at a lone grave, Alex lowered himself against the gravestone, resting his back against it, as if, even in death, his sister was still there to support him. At the next dawn, Alex went to Vidar's house without hesitation, knocking Vidar's door.
The sun hasn't even stretched itself, for the love of God. Who is it?
Shouting those words pissed off of how early a guest came, opened the door rubbing his eyes.
What do you... Well. If it isn't the Red Mark boy in flesh, don't you think it's a bit too early?
What do you know about the Marshals and the Red Mark?
You serious? Get in. Don't give me that look. Get the hell in so we can talk.
Alex got in to see how symbol of a man Vidar is. Looking around him, nothing but a warrior house. Cutting the silence, Vidar.
I thought you were not going to ask for any help. No?
I just need to know who are they.
Naive. So your debt is for them. How can you be in debt for the Marshals and not knowing every single detail about them?
It's not my debt. It's my father's, and now, after he's gone, I need to pay his debt. Just tell me who they are.
What did they take from you?
Me? Nothing much. Just my mother, father, and last night, my sister. She was all I got left of a family. Vidar took a deep breath, looking at the window facing the outworld, with the whole earth pressure on his chest.
The Marshals. The bastard sons of a bitch. They are, basically, the Dimension rulers. They control time. Great power, huh? Of course, not talking about the massive physical force they have. A great power at the hands of a great evil. They are merciless. Would slaughter and torture any damn being that would be a threat on their crown. I grew up alone. My father was killed in war 2 months before I was born, and my mother died delivering me. An odalisque named Sirhold took care of me. Not for too long. When I was at the age of 7, she died. Sickness got her. I was going from a clan to another at a very young age. I learned how to kill, steal, and pretty much everything to keep me alive until one day I met Laurats. He was the first friend I make over the years, and the only. But you guessed that just right. He was slaughtered on the hands of the Marshals. No one can stand to face them. We all know where to find them. We all know where to find the gate of the World of 1,000 Dimension, but not the key. In fact, a mortal can't really have the key. There are rules for that. Like the Red Mark of Hughes. They gave you a pass just for their debt to be paid. You should cover it. Never let anyone seize it. They will use you as a key for the gate. You will be nothing more than a sacrificial lamp. What's your debt, kid?
A soul of a dimension prisoner for the trade of my sister.
Margutha, isn't it?
You know him?
I know that someone set him free and now the marshals can't capture him again. Their mortal forms are too feeble for that. Even weaker than our mortal forms. What's your plan?
Killing him? I don't know, but I know that I'll do whatever it takes me to see my sister again.
Killing a dimension prisoner is easier than you think. They are too weak when it comes to the poison of a flower called the red-eyed wolf. I can give you the poison, but it's forbidden. You have to be careful. But how to get in Margutha's keep and how to make him trust you so you can make him drink his own death? Haha, that's on you, kid.
Anything for my sister.
Very good. One last thing to know about killing a dimension prisoner. It can cause disasters. Destroying a whole timeline with only one soul vanquished. Study your actions at least 1 year before committing any. And now, how about a drink as two men who hate the marshals?
A drink? I don't know, I'm not really in the mood for that.
Ah, come on! You need something to take the edge off. I'll buy.
And even before Alex could protest, Vidar clapped a firm hand on his shoulder and steered him toward the wolf's den.